The most money I ever made from a single client nearly didn't happen. It was a B2B software business and they wanted someone to own the entire engine from ideation all the way through to finished product, iteration, and testing across ads, emails, funnels, strategy, the lot. Honestly, my first instinct was to pass. I read my thing going in the coaching and course creator world and that was my jam. That was what I knew, it's what I was comfortable with. But I was a little light on clients that month and so I took the gig. They didn't just pay me more than any coaching client ever had for this particular project. They paid me to think, not just to write a sales page, to come up with the entire concept, from the big idea to the angles, to the copy itself, funnel build out, to the testing, and then iterating on the winners. What order to build the funnel in, and then what to kill when it wasn't working. I just remember looking at my Stripe and thinking, shit, I'm not a copywriter anymore. And I haven't been for a while. I just didn't have a name for it yet. And finally, 5 years later, we have a name for that, which is of course, Creative Strategist. If you've been writing copy for a while and you're wondering why your income has hit a ceiling and you're seeing people with half your talent come in, charge twice as much as you, this is probably why. You're still selling your hands. The money isn't selling that big, beautiful brain of yours. Today, I'm gonna show you 5 niches quietly paying between 5 and 10K a month or more per client. We're gonna start from most obvious to least obvious, and I guarantee you've never thought of some of these. You would be shocked where there is obscene amounts of money hiding in very specific niches. Let's get into it. Now, before we go any further, I wanna explain this because I get asked this constantly. Creative Strategist is a person who owns the decisions. What messages to run, what angles to test, what creative formats to use, what to double down on, and what to scrap. You might still write a bunch of copy yourself, and honestly, most good creative strategists do. The copy is just the output. Strategy is the product. You're effectively just an ads copywriter who owns performance. That's all it is. That's the difference between charging 3K for some ads and being paid 8K a month to own a brand's entire creative pipeline end to end. Now that we're on the same page, let's talk niches. Now, if you're anywhere near the creative strategy world, you obviously know e-com is the main lane. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by spending 10 minutes on the obvious one. Reason being, simply put, is these guys just have a fuckload of different products that they're selling, and each of those products needs its own campaign of 25 to 50 ads to give Meta Andromeda the creative diversity it needs to pair up the right ad with the right person and actually scale your ad campaigns. That's why the biggest direct response e-com brand in Australia right now, Happy Mammoth, currently has over 9,000 active ads running on Meta right now. One company, 9,000 active ads. Every single one of those ads needs an angle, a hook, a concept, an idea. It needs to be produced. Someone needs to decide what gets made, what gets scaled, what gets killed. That person is a creative strategist, or in this case, an army of creative strategists, and they are not short on work. So yeah, of course, e-com is the obvious play. Massive volume, massive demand. If you want to go straight there, you will eat well. We're honestly still pretty early in this game right now. Thinking about the adoption curve, I'd argue we're still at the stage of early adopter. All you have to do is literally scroll X to see how many brands are actively posting, aggressively trying to hire for a creative strategist right now. So if you're watching this right now, we're still in the stage where you could absolutely clean up by going after these big obvious niches. But if you're not into e-com for whatever reason, you want to niche down, or maybe you're seeing this a few months after I posted it, maybe e-com is starting to get saturated, you want to start to fish in ponds that no one else is fishing, where there's still massive demand and massive money to be made, then pay close attention to the rest of the niches in this video. Niche 2, info products and education. This one is my absolute favorite, and it's why I'm putting it right after ecom. If you're an active copywriter watching this, you very likely worked with info products, course creators, or coaches before. You know this world, maybe you're in it right now. This is where I cut my teeth in my early copywriting days, and where most of my experience comes from. And if you're writing for this niche and you're still not making the income you want, I can definitely tell you from experience, it is not the niche. It is simply down to the way you have positioned yourself inside it. Writing emails for a coach who sells a $497 course and pays you in exposure and commissions is not the same as being a creative strategist for an education company spending millions a year on Meta and YouTube ads. These are two completely different conversations. The second one needs someone to own their entire creative testing pipeline. Which angles are working, which hooks are fatiguing, when to refresh creative, how to structure the offer for cold versus warm traffic, what format to run, UGC, presenter, text, overlay, mashup, AI hooks, statics, ugly ads, testimonial ads, raw selfie style talking head ads, which are ripping right now, by the way. Whatever performs best. This is a 5 to 10K a month retainer conversation, and you're not competing against thousands of freelance copywriters for it. Most copywriters don't even know this role exists. Here's the other thing. This is my world. I've been in the info and education space for over 8 years now. I have helped, frankly, a ridiculous number of students build careers in this field. So when I tell you the demand for creative strategists in this niche is real, I'm not guessing. I'm watching it happen in real time every day. The brands spending real money on ads in this space, desperate for someone who can think strategically about their creative, not just churn out another Google Doc full of emails. Now, if you're already in the info coaching space and you're stuck between 3 and 5 grand a month, this reframe alone quite literally double your income per client without changing your niche at all. There's a reason these memes exist about people putting creative strategist in their bio and immediately getting hired. It's because it's actually happening right now. It's a word that these brands are locked onto. Hiring managers need a name for the role that they're looking to hire for. So if you want to cash in on this gold rush, quite literally all you need to do is just change your positioning from I write copy or copywriter to creative strategist. I own your creative strategy. Might seem like an oversimplification, but that's where we're at right now. But that's the beauty of being so early to the space. You get to come in and scoop up all the good clients, let everyone else sell emails in a Google Doc for $300. That brings me to niche number 3, SaaS and AI. Every week, without fail, someone asks me, Sean, is copywriting dead because of AI? And every week, I tell them the exact same thing. Go to literally any product launch site, open the last 10 tools that launched, read the landing pages, and then you come back and tell me if you think copywriting is dead. Somehow, no one ever comes back. Because what you find every single time is the same scene. A founder built something genuinely impressive. They poured their heart and soul into it. The weeks of caffeine-fueled work benders, been there, guilty as charged. Then they wrote their own copy to slap something together on a landing page after a 14-hour day. Headline reads like a stereo manual translated by a German bot. Technically accurate, emotionally dead. Tech bros, typically not the best copywriters. And fair enough, they spent their entire life, heart and soul, making the actual product, and the marketing kind of gets the leftovers. So these founders don't just need someone to rewrite their homepage. They need someone to figure out their entire go-to marketing messaging. What's the positioning? What problem does this actually solve? Why should people actually care? Who are the types of people who are going to be buying and using this? What does the ad creative look like? What does the onboarding flow say? Which segments get which emails? What ads do we test first? Here's why the timing matters so much. AI companies have absorbed an insane amount of global venture capital over the last few years. Hundreds of millions, billions and billions of dollars. There are now hundreds of AI unicorns, thousands of smaller tools, all fighting to stand out in an incredibly noisy market. Most copywriters are still scared of AI to realize that most AI founders could actually be their best potential clients. So the room is basically empty. Like, all you gotta do is literally just walk in. And if you're still worried about AI taking over copywriters' jobs, taking over creative strategists' jobs, I will tell you right now, recently I flew to Vegas to visit acquisition.com headquarters after coming top 50 in Alex Hormozi's Guinness World Breaking book launch for the second time. And he said something really interesting that really shifted my perspective on this. He said that AI companies are gonna put more AI companies out of business than normal companies. And I think he's bang on the money there. And the same goes for B2B SaaS broadly. By the way, I know this looks like a fucking Ty Lopez video, girls in the background and shit. We're at a villa. 16 of my favorite clients flew in from all around the world to attend the Bali Intensive. It's our big annual event. We had an absolutely phenomenal time. 3 days are unfortunately over. Gotta head to the airport soon. Same goes for B2B SaaS broadly. I'm lumping these together because, frankly, the skill set is identical. Complex product, non-technical buyer, a founder who could build anything, nowadays with Claude Code, Lovable, OpenClaw, but still can't explain it in plain English. If you want to find them, it's actually so simple. Go to Crunchbase, filter for SaaS or AI companies that raised seed or Series A in the last 90 days. That means, well, those companies just got more money. These guys gotta test fast. They gotta scale fast. That's why Silicon Valley is what it is. That's why people are hustling 16 hours a day, cracked out on Adderall, because they're literally in an AI arms race with all the other AI companies coming out of Silicon Valley. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. If you're not the king of the jungle, then you're prey for the businesses who are. Now, most of these businesses almost certainly don't have a creative strategist. If you show up within days of that funding announcement from Crunchbase or Apollo, you're talking to someone who's just received millions of dollars, has the exact need for the problem you solve, and is already in buying mode. Literally doesn't get easier than that. And because for the most part, money is really no object to a lot of these guys, it's very common to see retainers from 5k a month on the low end all the way to 12 or even 15k a month on the high end. And I've seen a full launch package for ads plus emails plus landing pages, sales page, and creative direction going for multiple 5 figures. With the funding these guys have, paying you 5, 10, 15, 20k, it's literally a rounding error. It's like 0.01% of what they're going to be spending on ads. So why wouldn't they spend that to make sure those ads actually convert? That brings us to niche number 4, supplements and nutraceuticals. Let's start with $100,000. That is how much Stefan Georgi got paid one time to write a single VSL script in this space. One script, one video, $100,000. Now, you could argue the days of getting paid that much to write a simple script in the age of AI are largely over. But before you tune out, here's the part that actually matters for creative strategists. Stefan didn't get paid $100K to write a single script because he's one of the world's best copywriters. Got there because he understood strategy first. Which angles survive compliance, which is a huge deal in this niche. How to structure the offer architecture, what the upsell ladder looks like, and which creative formats actually convert in a market where the FTC is watching every word. This niche is the purest form of direct response on this niche. These brands don't live on likes. They live and die by conversion rate, average order value, and LTV, which means if you can move the needle on creative strategy, they'll pay you like a profit partner not a freelancer. Here's what really separates this niche. The moat, as I said before, is regulation. Not only are meta ads watching every word you say, but the FTC and FDA have very specific rules about what supplement brands can and can't claim. Frankly, most copywriters have no idea what those rules are. It can't be fucked to even read them. All you literally have to do is take like half a day, go through the Facebook ads compliance course, learn the actual FTC and FDA compliance rules, which you can probably just get Claude to summarize for you. And congratulations, you've eliminated like 90% of your competition. So as a creative strategist in this space, you're not just writing compliant copy, you're deciding which creative angles to test within compliance constraints. You're building the entire creative pipeline and you're building the testing roadmap. That's easily a 5 to 12k a month retainer or 15 to 50k for a full funnel build out. Happy Mammoth, 9-figure Australian direct response e-com giant I mentioned before. Well, they specialized in women's health. They're a women's health brand built almost entirely from direct response meta ads. And I can assure you, their creative strategists get paid pretty damn well. Our fifth and final niche on this list is one that not a lot of people think about, but there's a ton of money here, and that is going to be financial services. Specifically, registered investment advisors, wealth management firms, and fintech products with regulated components. And that's where half the people watching this just checked out. Finance is boring, complicated, it requires some degree I don't have. And to that I say, let me give you one data point. Industry salary data consistently puts financial services at or near the top of the median copywriter or marketing compensation. Above tech, above healthcare, above where you've probably been told where the money is. Still bored? Go back to Upwork and keep fighting for $200 funnels. Still here? Smart. Because the reason this niche pays what it pays is, once again, compliance. Again, regulators like the SEC and FINRA mean these companies can't just hand their creative strategy work to some random prompt monkey and expect them to deliver. They need someone who understands what they can and can't claim, how to phrase risk disclosures, and how to promise big, juicy, exciting returns without getting sued. And I'll tell you right now, almost no one I've seen is positioned as a creative strategist for financial services. Basically, at this point, we have big agencies charging 6 figures a year, or nothing. No freelance creative strategists. No one in that middle ground offering 5 to 10k a month retainers to run creative strategy for an RIA with one overworked marketing person and a website that still looks like 2009 WordPress. That gap is your opening. But Sean, I don't know anything about SEC regulations. I'm sorry, you might have to leave your comfort zone just a tiny bit in order to make hundreds of thousands of dollars online. Hate to break it to you. The good news is, this is a learning curve, not a prison sentence. You read, you learn, you study, just like you did for copywriting. You talk to one compliance officer who explains their checklist. And hell, nowadays we got AI who can teach you this shit for you. You don't even have to go looking, you just ask Claude and just make sure it doesn't hallucinate on the answers. Again, half a day of learning the rules of the game, and you're one of maybe a handful of creative strategists in the entire country or world, your entire country, who can serve this market. If you take nothing else away from this video, here's a thread that serves all 5 of these niches. As you probably figured out by now, the creative strategists winning in these spaces aren't the best writers in the room. They're the ones who picked something specific, learned the language of that industry, showed up to where the competition was too lazy or too scared to follow. Go deep, learn who the buyer is, learn what keeps them up at night, learn what a concrete win looks like for them, and then go and find them. I've watched dozens of copywriters make this shift from copywriter to creative strategist. The ones who committed to one single niche are the ones who broke through the fastest every single time. If you want to achieve true mastery, if you want to be the gun for hire, the fucking guy who is in demand, that is lusted after, that gets results for his clients, that has an abundance of businesses reaching out to you because of your reputation for getting results, best and fastest way you're going to be able to position yourself as an expert is by going all in on one niche. The difference between creative strategists making 10 to 20k a month in these niches and the other ones still binge watching YouTube videos about it is one group made a decision and the other one didn't. And if you're sitting there thinking, all right, I picked a niche. Now, how do I actually make the transition from copywriter to creative strategist? That's exactly what we built the Creative Strategist Breakthrough for. It's a 10-week done with you coaching program. Me and my team of copywriters and creative strategists with over 9 figures in sales under our belt hold you by the hand and show you exactly how to position yourself, what kind of clients to go after, what to reach out and say, how to get them on a call, how to close them on high-paying retainers, how to handle every objection under the sun, how to actually deliver the work, and then how to build retainers that not only stick, but actually grow month on month. Or even transition into profit partner models so you can earn $50, $100, or even $200,000 a month per client, just like my students Sam and AJ are doing right now. If you want to learn more about how this works, there's a link in the description to a short application. Please fill it out honestly so we can point you in the right direction. And whatever you do, please do not go and pitch another random mindset coach this week. You got 5 better options now. Please use them. And hey, if you want to learn the exact system that we've used to take 84 copywriters from 0 to 10, 20, 50, 100k a month in income or more, watch this video right here. It's a free masterclass that explains our entire end-to-end client getting system. With that said, my name is Sean Ferres. I've got a flight to catch, and I'll see you in the next one.